Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video we're going to do a camera comparison of two budget offerings, the Moto G6 with the Realme one. So both these devices are priced below the 15K price segment and have quite good cameras as well. So we have a dual camera setup on the Moto G6 with a primary 12 megapixel camera, f-stop 1.8 aperture, secondary 5 megapixel camera for depth sensing, and a 16 megapixel f2.0 camera for selfies. On the other hand, the Realme one comes with a single camera, that's a 13 megapixel primary camera, f2.2 aperture, and an 8 megapixel selfie camera, again with f-stop 2.2 aperture. So that is the camera optics of these two devices. Now let's see which is better in terms of the camera quality. So first step, let's have a look at the video recording taken with these two devices. So both these devices can record videos in 1080p resolution, and this is the 1080p sample taken from these two devices. And when we reviewed the Realme one, we mentioned that the camera quality, the video recording especially, was not that great and it was over sharpened. But you can see that the dynamic range in the video of the Realme one is quite good, but the over sharpening is definitely an issue with the video recording on the Realme one. On the other hand, the Moto G6 has EIS support, that stabilization is included, and the overall clarity of the video also looks good. So in the video department, we would give it to the Moto G6 for better overall video quality when compared to the Realme one. Now next up, let's have a look at the daylight captures taken with these two devices. So when we reviewed the Realme one, we mentioned that while the image quality looks good on device, but when you zoom in the image quality drastically reduces and the sharpness levels are not that great. Although the Realme one has good dynamic range and it looks quite good in terms of the color reproduction as well, the overall clarity of the photos looks better on the Moto G6 with better details, better sharpness levels, and overall photo looks better on the Moto G6. But for a 9K priced smartphone, the Realme definitely offers good clarity. But if you're looking for a better overall clarity and details, the Moto G6 offers that when compared to the Realme one. Next up, let's have a look at the close-up images. So here again you could see the sharpness levels are better on the Moto G6, and at times the color reproduction also was a tad better on the Moto G6, while overall clarity looks quite good. Again, the sharpness is definitely an issue with the Realme one photos. So again, we would choose the Moto G6 in terms of the overall quality of the photos. Now the low light captures. So low light is not a strength of the Realme one, and this is clearly evident in the photos, and you can see a lot of noise in the Realme one photos, while with f-stop 1.8 aperture, the Moto G6 produces better results and the noise is controlled in the photos, and overall clarity in the low light captures looks better on the Moto G6. So again, Moto G6 is the better choice when it comes to low light. Now next up, the portrait samples. So you can see that both these devices are not really perfect in portrait samples. While the Moto G6 does it with a dual camera, the Realme one does it via single camera and software processing, and neither of them are really accurate, but edge detection was a tad better on the Moto G6. Finally, the selfie experience. So Moto G6 has a 16 megapixel shooter in India, and the Realme one has an 8 megapixel shooter. So selfies are more or less a personal choice, and both these devices have good selfie experience, but our personal choice would be the Moto G6. But again, the Moto G6 does not have portrait mode in the camera, so that's one of the disappointing aspects, because most of the smartphones have portrait mode, and this is one area where the Realme one does quite a good job considering the pricing it is offered at. So we will leave it to our viewers to decide which selfie performance they liked. So this is the front-facing camera sample taken with the Moto G6. It's a 16 megapixel shooter capable of recording videos in 1080p resolution, and this is the 1080p sample you are taken with the front-facing camera. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is and also the audio output from the video. So this is the front-facing camera sample taken with the Realme one. So this is an 8 megapixel shooter capable of recording videos in 1080p resolution, and you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is and also the audio output from the video. So summing up, which is the better camera smartphone? So our personal choice would be definitely the Moto G6 with better video recording, EIS support, overall clarity and details are better on the Moto G6. The low light performance was also better, and also the selfie experience, our personal choice was the Moto G6. But the Realme one is definitely a good camera for 9K price segment, because it's a lot cheaper than the Moto G6. So if you're looking for a cheaper alternative, then the Realme one offers good camera abilities, although the sharpness levels was not that great and low light could have been a tad better, and it also offers portrait mode in the front camera. So that was a detailed camera comparison of the Moto G6 with the Realme one. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button for more videos. This is Nurmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.